My first mummy game didn't go so well. Let's see what we could have done differently to help new players. We started off on D2 very early here, didn't make it very far, and we are a summoner. We stumble upon Sigmund, who is sleeping, and we opt to take a gamble. He wakes up immediately, goes invisible, we get no damage in on him. So we start pulling back, and he starts sniping our summons. So we're still kind of playing with fire here, seeing will he come back to visibility so that we can attack him? Not looking like it. And as soon as he gets a gap to get to us, I'm out of there. Then we check the next stairwell and bam, Terrence and a constrictor. We read teleport, we're constricted, and now we're in a bad situation. Mummies can't drink, of course, so we have no potions. I only had that scroll of teleportation. I've got no wands. What are you going to do? Melee the snake? Maybe. I decide to summon, and pretty quickly we die. So let's go back, talk about the first mistake. It's when we meet Sigmund. You can hit T and then R to make your summons retreat, and that would have given us a pretty good chance to get away from Sigmund while he was still sleeping, exclude the zone, and move on to clear the rest of the level. This is usually going to be the right decision the first time that you meet Sigmund on D2 or 3, usually even 4, right? So this early in D2, run away 100% of the time. Exclude that zone. Make sure you don't make any noise near him. There was no reason for me to run that gamble. Now, 9 times out of 10, probably that gamble pays off in the sense that we don't die. Maybe once in a while we actually kill him, and then we just go on about our business. This time, of course, no such luck. So let's talk about the more obvious second mistake. Now, we came to this stairwell as the second down stairwell after our mistake with Sigmund and because of our mistake with Sigmund. But you may have chosen this stairwell first. And so we have to accept that the mistake that's about to happen could have happened immediately without us ever seeing Sigmund. So we go down and we immediately find Terrence and the constrictor right beside the stairwell. I want you to write in the comments, what do you do here? Your stealth didn't work, so how do you respond? Do you go back up the stairwell like I did? That turned out to be the wrong decision. Do you escape diagonally, perhaps to the right and up away from the constrictor, and then fight? Possibly. I think that there are two options here, basically. One of which is that option. It's probably the worst of the two, but you go up and to the right, you get away from the constrictor. Now you're fighting Terrence and that ball python with your summons, and you can use your summons to tactically reposition, and maybe you win, maybe you get back to the stairwell and escape and live. That's a pretty big gamble. So let's look at the second option. So what I did was I went up the stairs, I got hit, and then I read the scroll of teleportation, which we know takes 3 to 5 turns to activate. Now, what's notable here is that we wasted some turns going up the stairs. How many turns exactly? 2.5 turns. If we had read this scroll of teleportation before going up the stairs, we may have taken a hit, we may have been constricted, but it gives us a chance to fight that constriction over at least 2 more turns, getting back up the stairs. And as soon as you get back up the stairs, you're very likely to teleport in the next turn or the turn after, which we survived in the actual gameplay scenario, that many turns. And so, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think you survive almost 100% of the time if you read teleport and then go up the upstairs. Even under the case where you get constricted the turn you read teleport. Whereas what I did results in a death very frequently, at least. I don't know if there's any actual escape going back up the stairwell there. You have the probability, some probability that both the enemies don't follow you, that one of them stays down below. But they're pretty likely to both follow you. They're both awake and right next to you, so pretty high chance of going up. And when they do go up, they 100% of the time pin you in position in that hallway because they must come up those stairs and remain adjacent to you. And there's only one permutation of what that looks like. I guess they could have swapped positions, but they're always pinning you down. So I think you basically lose that proposition every time. Whereas I think you win by escaping and living the situation where you re-teleport and then go up the stairs. So keep in mind for new players, it takes 2.5 turns to go upstairs. It takes, under normal circumstances in the early dungeon, 3 to 5 turns to teleport after you read a teleport scroll. And those two things interact quite nicely when you're retreating back up to an already explored floor, because the things that you bring with you, the enemies you bring with you, you're going to teleport away from them and almost always be in a cleared area of that zone. So there you have it. I expect there was indeed a way out for our mummy on D2/D1 of that last game. Luckily, we are having better luck in the very next mummy that we play. So I hope you'll tune in for that. It'll be coming soon. Until then, good luck out there.